Joseph Biden's natal chart. Let's just talk about this. So one of the things I really want to note right now is he has pretty much a whole bunch of stuff. He has a stellium in his 12th house. He has his sun, he has his Venus, he has his Mercury all aligned together in Scorpio in his 12th house. He also has Mars in his 12th house. I wouldn't consider it part of the stellium just because his Mars is at 12 degrees of Scorpio, and then he has his Sun, Venus, and Mercury in the later degrees of Scorpio. But it is a very interesting alignment because his mind is literally in kind of the cosmic realms of the 12th house. The other thing I want to note is that over here on his descendant, he has Uranus. And right now, Jupiter is really close to his Uranus in the sign of Gemini. Now, he's going to be going through, technically, a Uranus return in 2025 when Uranus enters the sign of Gemini. But right now, he's got Jupiter over here, and Jupiter's kind of aligning with his planet of chaos. So I think it's very interesting because there is this chaotic energy that his chart is bringing in the form of like between his ascendant and descendant. It's like a reflective energy. And if I see this transit, it's expanding sort of things that are out of kilter in his life. So in this case, that's his mind. People are questioning his mind and whether he's mentally fit to be president. The other thing I want to note is that Mercury this week enters the sign of Leo, and Mercury is square his moon over here in Taurus, and so he's going through what's called a T-square with his moon, Mercury, and Pluto, which is not easy either. So it's like there is this zeitgeist conversation as to whether he is of a decent, vibrant age to be the president of the United States. This week is also the United States solar return, July 4th. And with that, we're also looking at certain energies that are in relation to that Cancerian energy. So I want to point out that this week's new moon in Cancer is at 14 degrees. And the Sabian symbol for that, and this is from Mind Fire's website, is a very old man facing a dark or a vast dark space in the northeast. So a very old man facing a vast dark space to the northeast, and the northeast being the cosmos, the spiritual realms, the ancestral realms. So I do think that's reflective of whether you want to call it synchronicity or alignment with the fact that the United States is facing a Pluto return, especially with Pluto re-entering the sign of Capricorn. I think all points look at September. It's not even just related to his chart, but he is Pluto ruled because he is a Scorpio. And Pluto re-enters the sign of Capricorn on September 1st. And the other thing I want to note is that in September, we're going to have eclipses as well. And if you saw the movie Leave the World Behind, you definitely know what that's all about. So I want to talk about this because there's so much data here, and I could make probably an hour-long video just dissecting the data. But I really wanted to talk about this Uranian energy on his 7th house, or on his descendant, and the fact that Jupiter's there, because Jupiter is moving a lot of information around and expanding a lot of conversations around what the actual F we saw last week in the debates. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this? I mean, I do think that all the planets that he has in the 12th house are very indicative of a lot of things, and I also want to point out, I did a video for Julian Assange, and they have a very similar ascendant and descendant. It's just that Julian has his Saturn on his 7th house, and President Biden has his Uranus there. For more, check out Kristy Belich, Trust Your Glitter, and I have Trust Your Glitter podcast that is on all social media. I am on Substack, Rumble, YouTube, and Patreon.